Yeah. You don't have to do the hug and go. We love you, buddy. The shot clock's running, pal. The shot clock is running.
Not on the live stream, but he is a sweet, loving man.
We are taping tonight as well, guys.
Hi, I love you. Welcome to the First Church of Cannabis. My name is Bill Levin, and I'd like to thank Gerry Gobel, a long friend who's finally going to learn how to pronounce my name. We are here to celebrate laughter, one of the most important things in life. And with that, we're going to light the candles, live, love, laugh, learn, create, grow, teach, and we'll get on with it. Who wants to come up and light? I can't see back there. They got these lights really messed. I can't see what's going on, but whoever just guessed, come on up. Bravo, come on up. Here, we have matches. We suggest you play with them. There's a box. Cool. Each candle stands for a day of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, where we focus on live, love, laugh, learn, create, grow, teach, and we help celebrate life's great adventure. Because every day you get up, something cool and awesome might happen. You might wake up and decide you're going to start a church, and look what happens 6 months later. So I love you all. You did an awesome job. And here, get ready to laugh.
Okay, give it up for Bill Levin. Keep it going. He talked about getting up one morning and deciding that you're going to form a church, and I think that's what Henry VIII did. Of course, 6 months later, people started losing their heads over it. So, that's exactly what happened. And of course, I'm an Anglican, and in the Anglican world this week, the primates, for some reason they call the people in charge of the church primates. I think of zoos when I think of primates, but they call them primates. They're the primary people in the church because we're all equal, so some people are more equal than others. And they decided that because the Episcopal Church in the United States lets in gay people, that they can't actually be on committees anymore. Now, I would think that would be a fucking blessing myself. You don't have to be on a committee anymore, but they're sort of having this worldwide kind of thing. And of course, the Anglicans are really big on reading things out of books, and I just wanted to take the creed from this church and read it to all those primates, especially the first one. They actually have this creed up here, and the first one is, don't be an asshole. Yes. How many of you want to go to a church where the first thing they say is, don't be an asshole? Because if they said that, and they actually believe that in this meeting, so treat everyone with love as an equal. Yes, that's good. And number two, I'm going to give you the whole creed here, then we're going to get on it because we are in a church and I am Father Kurt, so you have to do it. The day starts with your smile every morning. When you get up, wear it first. If you don't have teeth, put those in first, I guess. Help others when you can, not for money, but because it's needed. Yes. So everyone needs a little help now and then. Treat your body as a temple. Do not poison it with poor quality foods or sodas. And I must confess, I stopped at Wendy's on the way. Does that count? I don't know. Don't take advantage of people. Do not intentionally hurt anything. Who can? Well, my S&M friends might disagree. Never start a fight, only finish them. Well, my father was a Marine and he could finish a fight, but I don't think that's what they meant. Grow food, raise animals, get nature into your daily routine. Okay, they left a comma out there, but that's okay. Do not be a troll on the internet. They put troll in quotation marks. I don't think you need the quotation marks there. Respect others without name calling and being vulgarly aggressive. So just be naturally aggressive, I guess. That's the moral there. Spend at least 10 minutes a day just contemplating life in a quiet space. Now here's where I go off the rails. This is where we're going to have like religious wars in the future between Catholics and Protestants and stuff. Because now, do we spend at least 10 minutes a day contemplating life while we're in a quiet space? Or do we spend 10 minutes a day just contemplating life in a quiet space? So people are going to fight over this someday. We need clarification. It's like the Second Amendment because they don't know what a militia is. I know what, and they don't know what muskets are either, apparently. Protect those who cannot protect themselves. I was really disappointed because we usually have those protesters out there, and I really wanted to find out what they thought about the Second Amendment because, they're always protesting here, and this doesn't hurt a damn soul in the world. Why aren't they protesting gun shows and stuff like that, where you always walk out with something that's going to kill people? Laugh often, share humor, have fun in life, be positive. Well, I'm A positive, but be positive. And then cannabis, the healing plant, is our sacrament. It brings us closer to ourselves and others. It is our fountain of health, our love curing us from illness and depression. We embrace it with our whole heart and spirit, individually and as a group. So there are the 12 things, the 12 days of Christmas, the 12 days of cannabis, the 12 rules. Live them, love them, learn them, inwardly digest them, smoke them if you can roll this up and use it. It's like, you probably can, but yes, those are the creeds, the creedal elements of this place. And of course, one of them is laugh often, have humor. So that's why we're here tonight for that. I am Kurt Messick. I'm your host. Thank you. I am actually Father Kurt Messick. As I mentioned before, I am an Anglican. I'm chaplain in a retirement community. I love that job. I've been doing it for 17 years, and it's the cushiest job in the world because I can do the same service every week, and it never gets old to anyone because it's always new to them, and I always get that new parishioner smell off of them, and that works. But it's really fun to come and be in a place that actually has pews that don't have depends on everyone who's sitting in them. At least I think that's true. I can't see anything because of the lights. So, but I hope you're all dependable laughers and applauders and everything else because the guys who are coming up here, I think it's all guys tonight. Yeah, what's up with that? This is comedy, so that's why it's a sausage fest. We are going to have these guys come up, and they really need your love, and they really need your laughter because in comedy we're here because we can't afford therapy. So the first person coming to the stage now is someone that I met in Bloomington, Indiana. He has since transplanted to Indianapolis because he grew too tall for a small town. Give it up for Peter Heinz.
Hi, First Church. I'm going to try this. See if I can't get the mic to come up. Guys, I was one of those Powerball players this week. And I got to say, it was a little disappointing because I've been cutting my own hair for the last couple of months, put all my savings into stupid tickets. No one from Indiana won. I was a little sad too because I guess 3 people won. 1 point whatever billion. I don't know how much they're actually going to end up with. But it's disappointing that not one person, that 3 people won, that they have to split it because I would love to see somebody with another $1 billion presidential run. This guy's already a spoiled rich kid. We know he's an asshole. I want somebody who's new into money. See how big of an asshole they can be. I also had a feeling that a lot of the people that were buying Powerball tickets are not necessarily the same people that Venn diagram into the people that are voting. But the ones that do go out and vote en masse probably didn't buy a lot of Powerball tickets if they did. I had a point there and I forgot. They got me on camera, I'm all flustered. And I'm not getting into that. But I will say, if he had my complexion, after 40 days in the desert, melanoma would have got him before the Romans. 33 is also an interesting age because I found out that it is the age your family finally gives up on you. Yeah, I didn't get any birthday cards sent to me this year. It's the first year. And I only got 1 phone call, and that was from my dad, not my mom. And I know when I say it like that you guys think maybe I had grown up in a split custody household. I didn't. My parents are still married. They just can't agree on anything. Most recently, should we wish our son a happy birthday? It's support like that has kind of led me to drinking. I'm good at beer. I wasn't always though, because I used to think Keystone tasted good. Yeah, you guys have had it, I see. But I did find out that there's a magic number as to how many you have to have before it finally does taste good. And that is 29. So I sell them in the bricks at 30. That last one's gonna be so sweet going down those lips until you throw them all up. Like a Vesuvius of Keystone. Just covering that toilet so no other future civilizations can find it. But now kind of beers I kind of go for are stouts because they're easy to go down. They're dark. You can find them about every. Wait, that's women. What do I like then? Blondes. No, that's women too. They're so bubbly. Okay. I remember. It's Irish Reds. I mean, clearly I'm talking about women, but when you get with one of them, they're gonna be drinking too. That's my favorite drink. When you drink as much as me, there is a price to be paid the next morning, and that is waking up in places where you don't remember how you got there. I think the weirdest one for me was an Indian casino, which when I came to, I was like, how did I fall asleep in such a noisy place? And it got a lot weirder when I walked outside. I was like, hey, how did I get to Mumbai? That's why I always drink with a valid passport. Another thing I have is waking up after a big night of drinking sick, but not like hungover sick. Talking like after a Halloween party a couple years ago, I woke up with an ear infection. Like, was I just pouring Red Bull right in there? There was another time, it was like a guy's night out, and this is a little embarrassing to admit, but a couple of the other guys came down with it too. Next morning, I woke up in a committed relationship. Yeah, I went to the doctor with a bad case of chlamydia. Took a couple months to get rid of. But I think the scariest time ever was one morning I woke up and I was like, ooh, I think I contracted polio. Luckily I realized I had just passed out in a Ralph Lauren display. You know. Yeah, rich people horse games. Take that, corporate America. Taking them down one at a time here at the Church of Cannabis. This is a great place, by the way. I was kind of reading some of the stuff outside. This is my first visit. And I see you guys are almost a year old. So congratulations. Yeah, you guys will be out of diapers soon. I was never much of a smoker, but after this week, I don't know. Maybe I will, because really I've lived a life of no adversity, kind of sleepy and lazy on my own. And Monday morning, I started out, I was driving away. I just dropped off my girlfriend in downtown for work. And I'm driving north. And my car decided to get into a physical altercation with an industrial dumpster hauler. You know, I'm just kind of driving around and hitting a curvy section of the road, a little swing up doodly-doo. And I was like, well, I got this. I'm in the right lane. And he was like, you know what? I think I can make this S into a straight line. And I was like, sir, I need this lane. And he's like, nope, I'm taking 2/3 of it. Took off the whole side of my car. And the weirdest part was, I was kind of watching it come close, and I saw my mirror pop and fly off behind me. I was like, buddy, no. I'm like looking behind me. It's less scary than what's in front. And it's real weird too, because it had one of those little adjustable knobs on it, you know? Now there's just a hole to outside. And I was like, oh man, this is no good. And the truck started to keep going. Like, honk honk. Sir, pardon me, if you could pull over a second, we need to discuss this altercation we just had and swap our providers. That didn't slow him down, so he keeps going. I flash my lights and give him a bump, bump, bump. Like, hey, buddy, need to swap some shirts. Still kept going. Finally, I give him just a like, motherfucker, get back here. We're gonna fight. You just took down my friend, little Sibby. It's a Honda. But no, he started going faster, and we were on a 30, and he's up to like 45. I think the only way I could have got him to run any faster from his mess was if I told him I was having his baby. And that baby was going to be born with a lifelong disability that'd be real expensive and time-consuming. That shut everyone up. That's just how mad I was, because I mean, I ran from a lot of metaphorical responsibility in my life, but he was just going for real responsibility. And I called 911. Has anyone called 911 on an Android? I was calling the operator. First off, he's like, you're still driving? I was like, yeah, I'm kind of chasing this guy. He's like, you gotta stop doing that, sir. Are you all right? I think so. My car's not. I gotta get him to stop. He's like, sir, just pull over. Stop chasing him. And I get out to inspect the damage, what I finally did. And this was Monday morning, you know, the 6-degree morning. And when I shut my door and looked at it, I realized that was a bad idea because my door handle was gone. I could not get back into my car for 45 minutes. It took 20 for the cops to come, and then they had to call a sergeant that could kind of locksmith me back into it. So I was just Goldilocks in the 3 chills all morning. But it's going to cost me $500 deductible if I can't find this guy. So if anyone knows the company that hauls those giant green recycling containers, that would help me a lot. But yeah, that wasn't a great start to the day. I should move into real jokes instead of just complaining about my week. I was talking about beer up there, but some people prefer wine. But the best wine dealers are a little hard to find. They're undergrounds. Because that's what makes them good wine sellers. Sometimes when you want to work out, you go to the gym, you see a bunch of gym rats. Gym rats always be chasing that wheeze. That's dumb too. You ever been to a party and all of a sudden a bunch of dudes named Neil burst in, throwing out some boring theorems? And they're just like, you just got Neil's board, son. Physics. Here's a good one. Maybe not. You guys decide. But gee golly, it's been annoying driving around and seeing all those people with their brights on lately.
Sorry.
And I understand out in the country, sometimes you can forget if you've been going for a stretch. But in the city, well, I mean, it's like raising chickens in the city, guys. That just won't fly. I mean, boy, howdy. I sure wouldn't mind if some of these people just drove into a pond of acid. Wouldn't it be corking if these car engineers could come up with a way to put some kind of warning if you've left your brights on for a little extended period of time? I have a suggestion. Cargo. Attention, sir or madam. Please make the first available U-turn out of this black hole. Or if you have not entered a time-space continuum, you are being a giant receptacle for feces. Might solve the problem if your car calls you a bag of shit, right? You guys watch Jeopardy at all? I got some Jeopardy fans in here. Jeopardy's amazing because it's the last game show for smart people. And even really the last place on TV for smart people, because other game shows don't. Political debates aren't for smart people anymore. And the news, that doesn't seem to be for smart people. So Jeopardy's the last bastion, and they're still, like, if they're lucky, pulling down 10 Gs. But there's one episode I was watching, and they asked them about the work of Henry Philip Thoreau, his Evangeline. And this guy knew all of the words and got the question. Real quick, do any of you guys think that maybe you could be on Jeopardy yourselves? I didn't think so. Because guys, I kind of played a trick on you. That wasn't that guy's real name. It's Henry David Thoreau. I was just testing you. Okay, a few people would be like, you got me, Peter, but I knew it. Well, I still don't think you might be on Jeopardy because I double tricked you. Evangeline is actually the great work of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Thoreau is, Thoreau's Walden, thank you. Oh, somebody might make Jeopardy. I can't even remember my own joke, and I hit Google for this. But, I got a little worried when they got to a part about great American speeches. And they said, from Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, that one day, sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners may one day sit down at what table? Anybody care to take a guess? That would be great. That would solve a lot of problems. But no, you know what? The people on Jeopardy didn't have a guess either. Smartest people in America, and blanking on I Have a Dream. Made me a little worried, like, guys, I know we are really good at remembering songs and, you know, like Kanye's and Jay-Z's Two Dudes in Paris, but maybe we should put a little more focus into some of the important documents that have been created, like, I Have a Dream. Because no matter how bad he wants one, Kanye doesn't have a federal holiday. Martin Luther King's got us all home from work Monday, and unless you got a job like mine, where it's very hourly. What am I doing on time here? I'm getting down to 2 lines. I do want to go into my week one more time. Maybe I can wrap it up on this. But I don't want this to be sad either. Because I got some news that my grandfather, he's 90. And he's getting moved home from the hospital. And it's one of those where he's only got weeks left, but it made me really contemplate on him. And he was a great dude, you know? Like, in World War II, he was in the Merchant Marines. And that was the people that would be on the ships getting supplies over to Europe. And the U-boats were constantly sinking them. The movie Jaws made us scared about sharks. And he had sharks with torpedoes after him. Never got shot down once. He visited Russia. And it was the part of Russia, it was Murmansk, that is north of Finland. Like, you can't get more top of the world than that. Like, I'm pretty sure that the sun shines for 8 hours in a year up there. But the whole harbor, or the boat parking lot as I like to call it, froze over. So he spent his whole winter in a land covered in snow, full of white people. But my grandfather's like, I got an idea. I'm gonna just drink Black Russians. If you're not familiar with that drink, it's vodka and Kahlua. If you want a White Russian, you add milk. But if the boat parking lot's frozen over, imagine how bad the cow's nipples are. But they, when that was all over, the government said that didn't satisfy his military obligation, so he still had to go fight in Korea. And then when he got back, he moved to Wisconsin and worked on power lines, which is only a few, Wisconsin winter is only a few degrees warmer than being frozen in Russia. And he would kind of tell me stories when I was a kid, because it's kind of cool. He'd go way up on the high tension lines. This was back in the 60s, before they had a lot of safety equipment. So when he said, yeah, Johnny had a bad day, kind of messed up and fell. I learned later that means Johnny's dead. And he was just so, that was the way he was. And I know that he knew electricity real well, because one time when I was a kid at my grandparents' house, I was, my birthday, and I got a little bored. So like a shithead, I started sticking a fork in the outlet. And my mom got noticeably upset when she found me doing that. He was sitting there the whole time, he's like, he'll learn, he'll be fine. And he never called me dummy, but he would always call all the animals. We had a lot of pets in our family dummy. He'd like, want to go outside, dummy? Who's ready for dinner, dummy? To all the animals, dogs, cats. But he would just call me Peter. And I feel like that was probably his biggest insult to me ever. But yeah, when he retired, he lived in Milwaukee, and he moved up to northern Wisconsin, where there's even more snow. For retirement, he's like, screw Florida. I'm going to a place where every winter I have to rake the snow off my roof or it will collapse. So I'm going to go up there soon and see him. But I'm really happy for him. And guys, I'm really happy for you guys to let me get up here. This has been a great first experience. Thank you, Gerry Gobel, for putting this together. I'm going to put Kurt back on, and he's going to get somebody with their shit together more than me. Thank you. I'm Peter Heinz.
Keep it going for Peter Heinz. Yes. He is very tall. I have to stand on my tiptoes here. Yeah, I always love it when someone has a joke about Henry David Thoreau, but never mentions his neighbor, Henry David Catch. I know, so terrible. I found this in the pew. Let's see, segue really fast, save it. I love you, have a happy 2016, and conveniently it has the instruction, hold here, down below. So just in case, but it doesn't say how to hold it, it just says hold here. So however you want to hold it, have a happy, see they needed arrows. If they're gonna go to the point of putting hold here, put an arrow and everything else. On it, so but yeah, I love you. So have a Barney New Year. Coming to the stage next, we have a guy who possibly has the best abs in indie comedy. Give it up for Tyson Cox.
I'm excited to be here. I've never performed on a stage with rain sticks before. This is dope, guys. This is cool.
How's it going? Let's do some jokes, maybe, perhaps, huh? Yeah, all right. I took a lot of notes on my hand during the day, and I took a lot the other day, and they went up on my arm, and I guess this lady thought they were tattoos, because she looks at me and she goes, what are you gonna do when you look down at that when you're 60? What are you gonna do when you're 60 and you look down at that? And I was like, I don't know. Remember to buy beer? The suicide at 40 didn't stick? I don't know what's going on with that. That was dark. I don't know, but we're gonna leave that alone. Did you guys know that every time a suburban dad misses a soccer game, a dragon tattoo gets its wings? Did you guys know that? I think this is really cool. I don't. Whenever I hear somebody go I smoke weed, I stay high. I'm like, oh, that's pretty gangster. But whenever I hear somebody go, I stay drunk, I'm like, we know, Dad. I don't smoke myself. Smoke weed. Oh, right, no, that was dumb. Don't laugh at that. No, actually, I don't smoke because whenever I smoke, I just put all the food in me and I don't move, so I just become the worst refrigerator. Any refrigerator that poops is probably the worst. The worst refrigerator. Do you guys think that the rapper Nelly really wanted to get famous just so he could stop horses wherever he goes? Whoa, Nelly. I'll let it go. You enjoy that one, Pat. I work in a restaurant, and my boss wants me to check every bill above a 20, like 20 and above, to see if they're counterfeit. But he never told me like how to check it. So like, all I know is from just watching the other cashiers. So what I've learned is, guys, is that counterfeit money can't be lifted above your eyebrows. Is what. So, this is good. This is a good one. We'll get off the book here in a second. I recently got a white noise machine, also known as a girlfriend. What up? Got her. You know they say you are what you eat, which is why my gay buddy eats chum. That's not right. Not right. Do you guys know that it's not illegal to type child porn into Google? Do you guys know that? Although it is illegal, on the other hand, to hit enter. All right, we'll get into the real shit. My name's Tyson. I got a twin brother named Levi. So that means we have Tyson chicken and Levi jeans. Like that was the name scheme my parents went with. It's like when we were being bored, my dad got to the hospital and was like, oh man, I did not bring the name list. But I got some coupons. It'd be embarrassing, because my life would be different if just a couple of different things were on sale that day. Could you imagine being 10 years old, having your dad roll up in a beat-up truck, just stick his head out the window and be like,
Sony! Chef Boyardee, get in the car!
get your sister tan packs, we gotta go. Make matters worse, my last name's Cox. So my name's Tyson Cox. Yeah, it's kind of a shitty name. But I used to get a lot of shit for it back in high school. In high school, I used to get chicken dicks all the time. No, not like as a nickname, but kids would throw them at me. And I was like, where do you get these? Found out during Christmas, though, when the butcher shop sent me a thank you note. They're like, thanks for moving those dicks. I'm a big drinker. I'm a big fan of drinking. I'm 27. I play drinking games still. I love beer pong, flippy cup. My favorite drinking game is I like to drink until I believe in myself. It's a one-player game, you guys. Typically on a Tuesday afternoon during reruns of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Adult things. I told that joke, and a buddy came up to me after the show, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm the best at drinking." And I was like, "You mean drinking games?" He goes, "No, drinking." And I was like, "I don't even know, what does that make you, like a champion or alcoholic?" Because champions win things like belts and trophies. This dude, he loses things like car keys, driver's license, custody. I did see something really cute the other day. I was driving around and I saw two people on one moped. It was real cute. There was a little lady who was up front, the guy he was behind, he was driving. And I was just like, oh my god, that is adorable. They both have DUIs and places to be. Besides drinking, I also like to do a little bit of drinking and online shopping. That's like to do a little combination work, time saving. Drinking, online shopping, booze and buy, Absolute, Amazon, whiskey and wish listing, adult things. And I'm getting real good at it, guys. I'm my own secret Santa. Like the other day, I received a package in the mail addressed to Sir Boobinator III. It's not a person. That was a good job, Visa fraud detection on that one. Really killing the game. But I guess I bought a straight razor because in the package was a straight razor, and I've been shaving with it. So I'm here to tell you guys that whenever you shave with a straight razor, every successful shave feels like a failed suicide attempt. It does, because every time I'm done, I'm always like, yeah. am bleeding. It's not good. Do I leave a note? I've never done this before. My other favorite drunk activity is I like to get drunk and then walk around my house with a flashlight and a dog to feel like I'm solving mysteries. That anyone else want to hang out? Forming a team. I need to get out of the van. We got a van. Yeah, but drunk Tyson solving mysteries, that's just the ultimate act of irony, because my roommate is always like, the next day he's always like, Tyson, who ate all my food? And I'm like, I don't know, man, but guess who bought a bidet? It's me. Sir Boobinator bought a bidet. Guess what I'm saying is, guys, anyone want to buy a bidet? I have an extra one. I spent all the time at bars. The other day I was at a bar, and a dude, he bumped into me, and he spilled a Jaeger bomb on my phone, and on my phone won't stop harassing college co-eds. And I was like, there are people too, come on. And so I panicked, I looked around, grabbed my trusty Bud Light, threw some Bud Light on my phone, and now my phone will only unlock with high fives. It's crushing it though. But I was like, we gotta class this up, so I panicked, I looked around, saw a bottle of red wine, grabbed some red wine, threw that on my phone, and my phone downloaded 50 Shades of Grey and won't stop vibrating. Yeah, I'm a nerdy dude. Like I spent my last Saturday night just drinking alone in my house, watching a cam-recorded version of the new Star Wars movie. Like some of you guys are like nerd. Other you guys are like, what link is that? I already paid and bought tickets, so I don't feel bad about it. I love Star Wars, big fan. I've always been nerdy though. Like that's always been a kind of a problem. Like I used to wear fedoras all the time. It's not a great thing. Sorry if you're wearing a fedora, but like, actually I do like one thing about fedoras, that whenever I see a guy in a fedora, I'm like, all right, I don't have to be friends with that guy. Just saving time, that's all that is. But I used to wear fedoras so often that my mom, when I was in high school, she intervened. I had an intervention. She was like, Tyson, you can't keep wearing that hat. Cops are gonna profile you and will harass you for wearing that hat. And I was like, that's insane, Mom. I didn't know cops hated theater kids. They were able to jazz hands my way into a bank robbery. It's not how it works. And I let it go, and it always kind of bothered me. And I was talking to her the other day, and I was like, Mom, why'd you tell me that cops are gonna harass me for wearing a fedora? Then she goes, oh, I never actually thought cops are gonna harass you for wearing a fedora. I need you to stop wearing that hat so I could have grandkids. Fucking got me, Mom. Jesus. Even she knew it was an unfuckable hat. It's one of my favorite sentences. But yeah, I am a big Star Wars fan. I got real excited for that new one when it came out. Watched it, loved it. Got so excited. I marathoned the originals. And during the originals, I noticed they get really excited about that exhaust port. Like one dude's like, the only weakness on this, the Death Star is 2 meters wide exhaust port. And then some dude's like, 2 meters? That's no bigger than a womp rat. And then Luke Skywalker, our hero, is like, I used to bullseye womp rats in my T-16 back on my uncle's farm, which sounds impressive until you realize that 2 meters is 6 fucking feet. It's a big, that's not like a womp rat, that's more like a womp cow. That is it's a big animal. What he's doing is the equivalent of a redneck driving around on a 4-wheeler taking pot shots at cattle. Like, that's our hero, guys. He grew up on a farm, he hates sand people, he made out with his sister. Like, Luke Skywalker is just a big old space hillbilly. That's all he is. Like, he's even rooting for the side of the war that lost 100 years ago. Like, if that doesn't scream, the Force will rise again, I don't know what does. Yoda, take the wheel. I bought some Magic the Gathering cards after work about a week ago, and I didn't open them, and I just put them in my pocket, and I sped home, and I kind of forgot about them. I was going to do some alone time. I was going to handle the situation, you know what I mean? I was going to masturbate. I was going to jerk it. So I was just getting the thing, and I was like, let me just take off the trousers, and I felt them in my pocket, and I was like, and I pulled them out, And the weird thing is, guys, as soon as I touched the cards, I also didn't want to fuck me, so. I spent too much money on magic cards, I can make that joke. I was talking about masturbating. I'm not too crass, so don't worry, it doesn't get too gross or anything like that. But like, dudes, we all have a list. It's a list that we've learned from trial and error. And that list is things we should not masturbate with. It's true, we all have it. That's like shampoo, orange juice, don't ask, the door unlocked. Does everyone know? Women really shouldn't, all right, with the door unlocked. All right, maybe I'll just scratch that one off that one. I hate it whenever I see like a really attractive girl with like an average or a below average looking guy, because he's got her and I've got my buddy Todd. That's it. And every time, well, I have nothing against them, but every time we see something like that, Todd, always his first response is like, how do you get her? He must have a huge dick, which tells me a couple of things. One, it tells me Todd does not have a huge dick because he is here with me. That's what, he's hanging out with me. And two, he doesn't know how dicks work, because a dick doesn't just get so big that it becomes okay to show people, you know? They're not poops. But like, he thinks in his mind a dick just gets, because it's like, it just as illegal to show a girl like a tiny dick as it is just a huge dick. Just one just has more giggles while you're being arrested. Like that's the only difference. Yeah, it doesn't get so big it becomes your wingman, I guess is what I'm saying. Like it doesn't just arrive places before you get there and it's just like, hey, pretty lady, I got a friend coming in like 4 to 7 minutes. He's gonna be here, and yeah, he's walking. No, he doesn't have a car. Nope, no job either. Nope, ugly. Nope, keep going. Nope, not good at talking. Oh, but he is here with me, and as you can see, huge penis. And then he just knocks over a tray of hors d'oeuvres because he's a huge dick after all. Am I right, guys? I like pickup lines. Do you guys like pickup lines? I write my own. I like pickup lines a lot. I like to go up to a girl and be like, "Hey girl, you got an ass like an avocado. Fat, but like the good kind of fat. Hey girl, you got an ass like Rick and Morty. I could watch it all day." It's not really funny, but I'm a big fan of the show, so I just wanted to plug it. Hey girl, you got an ass like broccoli. My ex-girlfriend used to make me eat broccoli all the time. No? You were very against, no. Maybe that's why it's not working. Is it the fact it was the broccoli that got you? You're like, I don't like broccoli at all. Rimmer's perfectly fine. The best ever pickup line I ever heard, it was awesome. I was sitting in a bar hanging out, and there's a lady sitting down, and a guy, he came up, touched her on the shoulder, she looked at him, he looked at her, he pointed at her crotch, and he was like, "Hey, you gonna eat that?" That was brilliant. I bought him a beer. That's how he almost took me home. It's like splash damage. I'm like, all right, here's my number. All right. I've seen pickup lines go wrong though, and it's the most beautiful thing. Especially when it's a dude who's like the most beautiful dude. I was at this bar, really handsome guy, super handsome. Like he was so handsome, and if he just sat there quietly long enough, somebody would come by and sit on his handsome fucking face. Like that's how handsome he was. But luckily for me, he didn't stay quiet. He opened his big dumb mouth. It was awesome because there was these two girls and they were talking, and one girl goes, "Yeah, he tried to have his cake and eat it too." And then this guy leans over and goes, "Hey, if you were a cake and I had that cake, I would fuck that cake." Yeah, suddenly tall, blonde, and awkward's not so bad. Am I right, ladies? At least I'm not gonna make your birthday weird. I just got back from the trip to New York, and it was a lot of fun. I like New York a lot. One thing I found out, it's super expensive to drink there. Like I was at a bar and I walked up to the bartender and I was like a Bud Light, and he goes, $9. And I was like, no. It's like, I want one Bud Light, not 9. Like, this is like, do I get a discount if I buy more? Like right now, how about I want 2 to 3 Bud Lights? He's like $9 to $27, and I was like, I'll just have a water. It was like $8.50. Yeah, I did. I like New York a lot. One problem I had though is like, as Kurt mentioned, in the Midwest, I'm like an 8. I'm all right. Pretty fine. But like in New York, I'm less attractive than some of the homeless guys. Like it's bad. Like I saw this one dude, and I was just like, oh my god, I gotta give that dude $1 and my number. I gotta see what's up with him. But when I was there, I took the train a lot, and I was waiting for it one day, and it had a sign. I noticed in just one station. It wasn't in like all the stations, so it stood out to me. They had a sign that said, in 2014, 168 people were struck by trains. 98 of them died. I don't think you need the last part of that sign, first of all, because like I thought the number of deaths from being hit by a train was, they got hit by a fucking train. So I thought that's what that. And it must have been fate or something, because it was the last day of the trip. I'm just hanging out, my train's almost here, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a guy walking down, and he trips, and he falls into the train pit. And I was like, oh, this is probably going to be bad. And then the train hits him, and I was like, suspicions confirmed. And the guy, he tumbles back, and he lays still for a second, but then all of a sudden he just gets up and goes, you got hit by a train! Whoa! So, I mean, like, he's probably fine. Like, he popped off a zinger. There's got to be, like, some brain damage because the Ric Flair woo. But, yeah. So the trip to New York, it taught me 2 things. It taught me, 1, superheroes are real. And 2, they are clumsy. That is, also wrestling fans, I guess. But a crowd formed, and like everything like slowed down. There's a big crowd, and like some guy got pissed because they had to check the tracks, the train, and all that. And so this guy, he shoves his way through, and he sees that the guy's like fine, and he's like, oh, what? We had to wait on this perfectly fine-looking motherfucker? I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm gonna fuck him up. No, you are not. Like, I don't know what you're gonna do to a dude who's immune to trains. Like, I don't care how good your right hook is. It's not gonna do anything to a dude who got hit by a train and then talks shit to the train. I'm gonna get out of here. We got here on one last one. If you guys like me, follow me on Twitter at Tyson Cox, TysonCoxxx. Just 3 X's because 1 was taken and 2 is stupid. So follow me on Twitter. YouTube streaming people. I'm gonna leave on a joke. Sorry, I want to take a drink, and I also wanted to wink at a camera. I've never winked at a live stream before. So I grew up in the country. And when you grow up in the country, we had really slow internet when I was about 13 and 14 years old. But I also had 13 and 14-year-old boy needs. Once again, jerking it. Going full circle here, guys. And so, like, when you have slow internet, you can't just like click a video because they just take, you would never get anything done. So you had to like click pictures, and they'd always load the same way, and because they still took forever, so you'd just be like, I hope I picked a winner, click, click, you know, and they'd download from the top down. It'd just be like, you'd be like, boop, oh, doctor's office. She's probably a doctor. She's probably real smart. That's good. Boop, oh, red hair. I like that. That's good. Boop, whole face, nice, complete face, nose, and everything. Good. Boop, boobs. Ah, doing God's work, boobs. I like what's boop, oh, belly button ring. You know, I never really thought to myself if I'd boop penis. Ah, son of a bitch! Ah, I feel weird because I already started. Dad didn't raise no quitter, so. All right, thank you very much, guys. I'm Tyson Cox.
Keep it going for Tyson. He doesn't quit. So he was mentioning his favorite pickup lines, and the best pickup line ever used on me was, if you sleep with me, I'll give you a Mercedes. So I'm driving the S-Class out in the back there. Coming to the stage next, yeah, I was young and beautiful once. I know you don't believe me, but yeah, I was. The S-Class is 25 years old. Coming to the stage next, he wanted me to give him a musical intro, but Gerry blessedly told me keep it brief, so I can't. Give it up for Sam Griswold.
Thank you, Kurt. Round of applause for Kurt, everybody. Gerry and all that, everyone else who's here. It's pretty cool, you guys, to be here. Did you hear about the reporter in Tampa who found a neighborhood that had 800 pedophiles living in it? Or as the kids called it, the neighborhood with the best Halloween candy. Did you hear about the milliner who recently lost his shop? He was caught being a prostitute. Yeah, he was giving $5 brim jobs. It helps if you know that a milliner is a person who makes hats. I know a lot of you are thinking, that's a haberdasher, Sam. Fucking wrong. Haberdasher is a person who makes clothing for men. I'm not about to compromise my art for your connotation. I wrote one of those like classic jokes, a street joke. I wrote one of those. You guys want to hear it? Let's see, vampire goes out with all his friends one night. All his friends had just, they all bought e-cigarettes, and you know when people have those things, they never shut up about them. So he's getting jealous. He starts walking around the bar, and vampire's putting roofies in everybody's drinks. Finally, one of his buddies walks up to him and says, "Hey man, you can't be doing that. You have to stop roofing the drinks." The vampire says, "But you were the ones that were talking about the vaping." Hitler versus George Bush. Who's the better painter? It's a real argument you can have. I know because I had the argument recently. My buddy, we were talking about it, and I was like, I like George Bush better because his caricatures are real funny, and I'm a real American. He goes, well, I like Hitler better because I went to art school and I hate the Jews or something like that. They didn't say he hated them. He said he wasn't a big fan of like the Zionist movement in general. I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth. After all, he's the one who's anti-Semitic. That concludes the wordplay segment of the show. I'd like to move on to the other standards. In this case, men being stupid and not knowing things about vaginas and stuff. I'm bad at that, but I feel pretty good about being bad about it because people have been bad at it forever. A good example is when Sally Ride went to space for 7 days. Engineers at NASA included 100 tampons because no one wanted to be like, "Hey Sal, how many tampons you gonna need?" They were just like, "Have you talked to Sally recently? She has been in a mood. Let's give her like 100 and we'll put them in a cupboard somewhere and put skull and crossbones on it. She'll figure it out because we're feminists at NASA. We don't like talking to them, but we believe in them." I travel a lot for this, and you realize as you're going across the country that each state has different themed billboards. Like when you get when I get back home again to Indiana, it's always nice because Indiana's immediately like, you're going to hell. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I like Michigan's better though. Michigan's billboard theme is fudge. There's fudge everywhere, which is nice because I like fudge. But I saw a billboard for a fudge place, and the place was called Murdick Fudge, which is weird because they had to pitch that to real human beings. They had to walk into a place, and there were two guys, and they were like, hey, so is this right? Your company's name is Murdick Fudge? He's like, yep, Murdick Fudge. All right, please explain. Is this a name? He's like, yep, Murdick Fudge. They're like, all right, you see, my problem here is that most people would say Murdick Fudge. And that's two separate ideas. But you're saying Murdick Fudge, which sounds like something completely different. Yeah, it's Murdick Fudge. All right, sir, how do you make your fudge? Take Murdick out of my life and I scrape off the fudge. Who sent you here? Tom Raper. Get the fuck out. I don't know, you guys, I'm trying to save the environment. My girlfriend gets on my case, though. She starts yelling at me. She's trying to save the environment, and she's all like, you can't pee in the shower when I'm standing in front of you. Move. There's soap right there. I don't have to pee in the shower, though, because I have trouble peeing. I can't pee without getting pee on my pants when I put my penis back inside. It just keeps dripping. And it gets everywhere. Anyone else have that problem? People are nodding. It never fails. People nod wherever I go. Stop nodding. You don't have to admit to every problem. But I found out the internet has a solution. The internet says, oh, all you do is you take two fingers and you place them on your perineum and you push. Your perineum is the spot between everything down there. It's your taint. And you push on your taint and the pee comes out. But you know, no one wants to walk into a bathroom and see like this. Oh, don't mind me, I'm just burping my dick. I did that joke at a club once, and a person came up to me afterwards, or I walked into the bathroom, and there was a person, and he was doing it. And he turns around and looks at me and he goes, sir, you changed my life. Shake my hand. Not after a taint. I'm like, no thank you. I have a lady friend, I think she's watching at home. Hi Pauline, I'm sorry, there's a stink bug in the bathroom, I'll be home soon. She texted me. She laughed at that, don't worry, you guys don't have to. That's called a personalized joke. If I knew more of you in the crowd, I would do that, but I don't know any of your names. So let's get real personal with it. My girlfriend and I are trying to spice up our love life. So I went to one of the adult toy stores, and I didn't find anything I liked. So then I went to a regular toy store because I wanted to look for action figures, and I found the perfect toy at Sex Toy at the toy store. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but Bop It. Yeah, it's the only sex toy that also gives you instructions while you're using it. It's like, pull it, push it, twist it, flick it. Don't bop it, though. They don't like that in real life. Only for the pornos. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm pretty adorable. My girlfriend and I, we've been having problems in the bedroom because I do things like buy bop-its. And I'm really cute, like I do cute things, like we're trying to lose some weight. And we like General Tso's chicken, but it's unhealthy when you get it from the restaurants, so I make my own version. I call it General Sam's chicken, which is, you can see where I'm going with how cute I am. Anyway, but my girlfriend she made me, she gave me a list of things that I'm not allowed to say anymore if I want sex. Because they're too cute. Like, I can't be like, hey, smooches, please. Do you want to make spoons? I can has cuddles, please. And when I do that, I do this, which helps. Can I tickle your no-no parts? Can't say that. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Peepers. Mr. Peepers is the name of my ding-dong. I'm hungry for some peach pie. Mouth hugs, please, and that's another one where I go like this. And mouth hugs are what I call blowjays, because the other word is nasty. My toy soldier needs to be put away in the toy box. Can I put my winky in your jigs and squirt grown-up milk on your tum-tum? Too cute for us. Can I put bows tight on your hands and spank your tush with my paws? No more of that. Can I have mouth hugs while I make soft serve into the potty? And the last thing she won't let me say anymore is, can you put on a daddy-shaped toy and play bumper cars with McKeister? It's like she would put on a thing. It's hard to get fucked in the ass these days, you guys. Ladies are not as in to the pegging as they used to be. I lied about the wordplay, you guys. There's going to be one more real quick one. Did you hear about, this is actually a true story. There's an Indian boy, he was born in India. And he was born with 3 penises. Yeah. One of them didn't work at all. Another one just had erectile tissue in it. And then the other one was like a full-blown dick. So he had like this holy trinity of penises. You know what I'm talking about? Like, one of them, no one really knows what it was there for, but I guess it exists. And there was another one that was kind of like just the sexy thing, Jesus. And then there was like a full-blown dick. And so what the doctors did was doctors in India, they took all 3 of them and they cut off the one that didn't work at all. And they combined the other 2 into a super penis. And that day will forever be known as that little boy's girth day. Sometimes it's worth going back to puns. You guys know about parallel universes, that theory? Yeah, that's a pretty neat theory. If you don't know what it is, it's like a theory that there are an infinite number of parallel realities where an infinite number of possibilities exist, which is a beautiful thought, especially when you consider things like, you know, there's one out there where we all won the lottery. Yeah, that's a cool one. There's another one out there where like just I won the lottery. And that's even better. There's another one out there where like chicks are way into guys with low self-confidence. How cool would that be? Right, guys? But I think it's weird because that means there's a universe out there where ghosts are like real. And people have to worry about ghosts everywhere they go. Like, that's a crazy thought. Like, you get some really cool TV shows out of it, though. You know, like Law and Order, SV Boo. They'd walk into the room. My God, that's disgusting. Clearly the victim was raped before the ghost killed her. What makes you say that? There's ectoplasm everywhere. I don't think the original interrogation techniques that we have here would work anymore. Like the good cop, bad cop thing would go out the window. Because they'd sit down there. bad cop would be all like, "Did you fucking do it?" And the guy would be like, "No, I was possessed by a ghost." The bad cop would be like, "Bullshit." And the good cop would be like, "Well, hold on. You know what we say here in this universe where ghosts actually exist. Possession is 9/10 of the law." Bum bum. Produced by Dick Wolfman. I did that line in a room with about 10 times as many people as this, and Dick Wolfman got nothing. So thank you for watching Law and Order. You know what they say in that universe, like that theme from the Ghostbusters movie? You know what they say in that universe? You know, dun da 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 dun. We ain't fucking with no ghosts. The Ghostbusters theme. You guys think it goes the way it goes here. No, Ghostbusters is a very different movie. In this universe, it's actually a tragic documentary about the deaths of Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, and Bill Murray, as told by the lone survivor, Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson is the black one. And in this one, he was the one who didn't die, so it's different than our universe. Also, no racism in this ghost universe. Yeah, no racism. There is still a KKK, but they're just pro-ghost. They're just pro-ghost. I'll leave you guys with something good. Get out of here on a high note. Anyone here wish they had superpowers? Like me? Yeah, I know you all do. We all fantasize about it. I wish I had superpowers, you know. So, you know, every day I walk around, you know, baiting spiders. Hey, bitch, been any radioactivity lately? How about you get over here and bite me? It's working too. I've been to the hospital 10 times in the past month, and the doctors say I'm developing an immunity to anti-venom. Yeah. I know what that word immunity means. It means I'm on the right track. I also figured I could take, you know, there's a live stream here, so I could take the internet, help me out. So I'm going to do a Kickstarter to raise $1 billion to become Bruce Wayne, and then Batman. I got some sweet prizes in there though. For $100, I'll punch anyone you want right in the face. For $1,000, I'll write something cool in my costume for you. For $1 million, you get to kill my parents. Sweet. 2-for-1 special if you think about it. But do you ever think maybe you are a little special? Like maybe you do have powers that you didn't even realize you had. I think about that all the time, like little things. Like the other day, I got a glass of Metamucil down, didn't gag. Yeah. I had to park like a little further away than I would have liked here, and I got to the door without getting even a little bit winded. Yeah, and there was a ramp in there too, so that's some tough shit. And last night I got that Sarah McLachlan commercial with the dead puppies without getting an erection, which is crazy difficult. All right, that's it for me. Thanks, you guys.
Sam Griswold, everyone. Sam Griswold. Okay, well, we're going to take a break now, so go off and do your stuff for about 10 minutes or so, and then come back and be prepared to laugh more. Thank you. Thank you. glad to have you back here with us at our show at the First Church of Cannabis. We are waiting for our audience to sort of regroup and reassemble and reemerge and re-solidify and beam themselves back in and be here, including the comic who is supposed to be up next, but he's not even in the room as far as I can see. So I'm going to just sort of vamp and do other kinds of things. I mean, it's sort of interesting to be up here because I am a priest, I am a minister, and I visit other churches, and it's sort of interesting to see what goes on in the pulpit area. And this is, I think, the only church I've ever been to that has Charlie's Angels trading cards on the pulpit. They have Farrah Fawcett, you know, Farrah Fawcett. Or wasn't she Farrah Fawcett Majors at that time? I'm not sure. So she certainly wasn't minor, she was a major. So a major figure. So she had a major figure. And see, I'm gay and I noticed. So I mean, that tells you something. But it's sort of interesting also when you can look at the notes of people who have preached before, and there's Alan Rickman misspelled.
Quit reading my notes!
Lemmy and Bowie.
Quit reading my notes!
No, sorry. I'm just telling you it's misspelled. So it is misspelled. You know, I'm sorry. I'm the spell checker. I am. That's going to be my thing. I'm the spell checker. So don't leave it up here if you don't want me to read it. So no, you'll be fine. You told me not to repeat myself. You didn't tell me not to repeat you. That's the way it goes. He hates me now. Okay. But yes, we do have 2 more comics coming up here for you. So be prepared to laugh and laugh loud and laugh long and laugh hearty. He is currently sucking on a dum-dum sucker, but he's going to make us laugh. Give it up for Patrick Murray.
I haven't had one of these in years, since I've had a dum-dum. Didn't even know they still made them. Pretty excited. I had a science teacher. He would do this thing called the dum-dum question of the week, or maybe it was the day. I don't know, but he would give you a dum-dum if you answered it correctly. But what he didn't realize was that I had a thing called a T-Mobile Sidekick, which was like an early smartphone, so I always got the question right, just for the candy. And it's really worked out. I'm a pretty smart guy. I'm a pretty sad guy. My cell phone, every time I type in a smiley face, it always auto-corrects it to a frowny face. Because my smartphone knows how sad I am. But it's cool, I'm a sad guy, but I'm not a bad guy. Like, I've never made one bad decision in my life. Not one. And that's because my future self has never come back to stop me from any decision I've made. For example, I won the Powerball. I won those billions, you know, and then I spent all of it on more Powerball tickets, the whole lot. And so I'm broke again. You didn't hear about it. It was like an independent zines. That's why you haven't heard about it. It's cool. That's how I roll. Future self didn't stop me from saying that last part wasn't a bad decision. I'm 132nd Cherokee, which means I had like a grandfather 5 generations up that was a rapist. It's cool, I can say that. I'm 132nd Cherokee. I have a film review blog that literally nobody has read. Mostly because I like to read film criticism on the internet, but I only really agree with myself. The most recent review I did was for a film called Ex Machina, and that film's been out for like a year, and I just reviewed it last week. And by reviewed it, I mean I started to review it, and then I just reviewed the movie Blade Runner instead. No regrets. You guys ever heard of Capri Sun? You guys remember Capri Sun? Yeah. Yeah, you didn't get your dick sucked in the 4th grade unless you had a Capri Sun in your lunchbox. The teacher taught me a lot. There we go. There we go. Statutory rape. That's funny here at the First Church O' Cannabis. I jerk off a lot. I'm sure you guys are really interested in hearing about another comedian that jerks off. But I'm sure as soon as you looked at me, you were like, oh God, we're going to hear some more jerk off jokes, definitely with this guy. You know, this stained hoodie, sad look on his face. Yeah, I jerk off a lot. It's true. It's natural. I remember the first time I jerked off. You guys remember that. Unless you're not guys, then you girls remember the first little time you pet the kitty? Yeah? Okay. Anyway, first time I jerked off. Jesus Christ. It's great. It was great. I was like 8 years old, which is a little early to like start yanking the moose around, but I had a friend who was like 2 years older than me, taught me the secret, the jerking off secret. So I was, I was firing blanks for a while, shooting blanks every time. So the first time I come, it just scares the shit out of me. I was like, oh, fuck! Fart! Because I didn't say fuck back then because I was a little idiot. I was like, what is this? Why is it milky and white, sticky? Why is it salty? Why? It's a terrifying experience. My mom always told me, if you don't know what something is, you gotta taste it. That's where that came from. I haven't, my mom's been dead for a while, but it's good. It sounded like solid logic, So you always taste everything that you're unsure of. What's up? You guys are unsure of me. You want to taste? Don't take pills before shows, Patrick. I'm pretty sure my boss wants to bang me. She keeps trying to find ways to get me fired. Because we can't, she's my boss, we can't bang according to the rules of the bar I work at. She keeps trying to find ways to get me fired, which means I actually have to work hard because I just don't trust my skills in the bedroom enough to constitute getting fired over banging my boss. So now I have to work extra hard, which for me is just working at all. Alright, boss banging, real funny. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a relatable one. I have a Muslim friend, and he has killed a lot of people. Not surprised, right? Not a surprise because he's a heroin dealer. He's killed a lot of people. It gets rough in the heroin game, guys. He's Muslim. That has nothing to do with the heroin thing. It kind of does. That country is shooting yourself in the foot. I have health insurance. Let's talk about health insurance. I've got health insurance. It's Obamacare. I was so excited about my health insurance that I messaged a girl on Facebook. I said, hey, I got health insurance. We should get a drink on Friday. She was like, I don't think my boyfriend would like that. And I was like, oh, he must be a Republican. You guys are great. You guys are real great. I can't see any of you. I just see these two lights right here. Every time I try and look at you, I just blind myself. I'm addicted to TV, guys. I'm addicted to TV and drugs, but TV more than drugs. Like, I could go on like a 3-day coke bender and be fine for like a week, you know, but you take TV away from me for like one day, I'll just be scratching myself, you know, I'll just be sick, just from the lack of TV. Like, I'll be out on the streets blowing some guy in a sketchy alleyway for Netflix logins, you know. Come on, Street Pete. I don't know, that would be his name. Come on, Street Pete, I just need a show, man. I just need another show. He's like, oh, that was a really dry blowjob, Patrick. I don't know, man. Like, I guess I'll give you 2 episodes of 2.5 Men. That's what I'll give you. Then I'm like, oh, shit. Ashton Kutcher or Charlie Sheen? Ashton Kutcher. Oh, where's my life gone? TV addiction is a serious thing, guys. I saw a steakhouse the other day. It was called Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You guys heard of this? Yeah. Someone needs to tell this Chris fellow that slavery has been abolished. You can go make your own steakhouse, Chris. You don't need Ruth anymore. Yeah, fucking Ruth. Beating Chris down. My grandparents gave me pictures of them to put in my wallet. And so now every time I open my wallet to buy drugs, I have to stare into their judgmental faces. And I'm like more than likely using money that they gave to me. You know, oh, Patrick, this $100, it's for groceries. Well, guess what, Grandma? When you're on cocaine and codeine, you don't need groceries. I love dum-dums. Cold Stone Creamery. I ate dinner there the other day. Yeah, that's right, I had ice cream for dinner. Living the dream. I'm just a giant kid on Saturday, you know? I just want to eat ice cream, watch cartoons, and take a lot of pills. So I was at Cold Stone eating dinner. You get 1 free mix-in. And you can't even bring your own from home. Unless you know somebody. It's all about who you know. For instance, I know my friend Jeff. He works at Cold Stone. He'll give me a gummy bear mix-in, and he'll mix in some Xanax. That I, surprise, also bought from Jeff. He's my Cold Stone guy and my pill dealer. I just gotta go to one location. That cake batter ice cream really makes those Xanny bars go down smooth. I like to say I'm an optimist. For example, you might hear from somebody whose anus is bleeding, oh shit, I have to go to the hospital. Not me. When my anus bleeds, you'll probably hear, oh shit, a cool new way to try cocaine more efficiently. Goes right in the bloodstream. Doesn't make you all throat sick the next 3 days. Works well. You guys, I'm a bouncer for a living. And I tell you what, I've gotten in a lot of drunk encounters. I was drunk too, but we're not supposed to tell them that. I've gotten a lot of altercations with drunk people, and I've gotten my ass kicked a lot as a bouncer. I've gotten my ass kicked a lot because it turns out it doesn't really matter how many times you've gotten stoned and watched Roadhouse. Like, I tried to rip a guy's throat out, tried to rip his throat out, Patrick Swayze style, and I got my shoulder dislocated. Because it turns out I know zero combat skills. I have 0 combat skills. And this guy had like at least 5. I just like missed completely. I tried to go for his throat, and apparently I hit his chin, he put me in some crazy MMA death hold. It just had I tapped out, and he still dislocated my shoulder. Now he's in jail. So when it comes right down to it, I guess I did get my man, you know? I guess it's not about how you got the work done. It's about getting the end result. It is about the destination, not about the journey. It's about the destination. I'm just talking out of my ass. I binge watch a lot of TV, guys. I've been binge watching this show called The Brady Bunch. That show is terrible. It really is. It's really bad. In case you don't know, it's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up roughly 3 very lovely girls. Okay, we're not going to get into this. You guys know what the Brady Bunch is. You're all people. So the sexual tension between the siblings really freaks me out. It really freaks me out. Like, I don't know if Greg Brady is trying to pork Marcia or wait until Cindy's old enough to buy her first box of tampons. And then you've got Jan Brady. She's up in the attic just crying, cutting herself, reading Chuck Palahniuk or whatever it is rich white teenagers pretend they relate to. Oh, my life is so hard as the middle child. Like, fuck you, Jan Brady, you've got a white slave. Never seen them hand Alice a single paycheck. Not one. Have you seen Alice get a single paycheck? Guy who I can see, sort of. Yeah, he said no. Means I'm right. The other day at work, at the bar, there was a girl there. She was breastfeeding her kid. It's a classy bar I work at, guys. It's a real classy place. My manager was like, she can't breastfeed her kid in here. That's indecent. Oh, that's why? That's why she can't breastfeed the baby in the bar? Because it's indecent? So I had to go tell her to stop. She goes, you're just sexualizing the breast. I said, that's not true. You can't breastfeed your baby in here because you can't bring outside food into the restaurant part of the bar. We've got chicken tenders. Baby will be fine. Would babies eat cottage cheese? Alright. I've got one more for you guys. I was at a bar, mourning a friend's funeral, death. Mourning his death after the funeral. I was at a bar. There's a pretty girl sitting at the bar. So I was like, yup, gonna hit on her. So I did. We were talking, and there was an exchange of drinks, which that means something's going well. Hit the dance floor, we're dancing. I'm like, man, I can't believe this pretty girl is dancing with me. We're getting really kind of like close and intimate. She goes, you want to go back to my hotel room? And I was so pumped. I was like, yes! Like, before she even finished her sentence, I was like, yup! You gotta act fast, you know? She was like, okay, well, there's one thing I gotta tell you. You're gonna be my first since the operation. So I was like, what do I do? You know, I thought to myself, thought about my morals and values, thought about my dad, my dog. Then I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. So I took her back to her hotel room and I deflowered that 1-year-old woman. I came, she didn't. Just like being a real woman. All right, that's all I got for you guys.
Patrick Murray, everybody. Keep it going for Patrick Murray. He made that sucker last that whole set. That's wonderful. That must be the everlasting gobstopper or something like that. Are you ready for your ultimate comic tonight? Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Ultimate comic. Yes. It's the guy who puts this show all together. Give it up for Gerry Gobel.
Give it up for Kurt. I have to apologize for yelling. I do. I would yell. Because the thing was, okay, all right. So this big ultimate comedian build-up is there's a notebook right there with notes on it. So there's your fucking ultimate for you, right there. It's because I got short-term memory issues. I have to remember names. I got actual specific people I need to fucking dust tonight by name, and I need to make sure I get their names right so they feel the sting in their souls because they're whores. Hi, Internet. Fuck you. Hey, so I don't want to apologize. I want to apologize to Kurt because I was like, don't read my notes! Don't read my notes! Like a father watching a toddler walk towards a power tool. Put it down! Put it down! And then they go, and then you're like, why'd you do that? Why? Why? And it's not really that I'm upset. I'm more embarrassed with the fact that I've been caught in a lie. That's really what it is. There's a note, right? Because, yeah, those jokes are all dead as Bowie, Lemmy, and, Rickman. And Rickman, R-I-C-K-M-A-N. We're going to go to spell checker rather than jokes. Come on. Come on, Father. Apologize for yelling. I'm sorry. I put a lot of pressure on myself because specifically I got to take some people out tonight. And the father-son thing, that works in great because I don't know if you heard the latest in the cocaine trafficking issues.
Yeah.
Father-son. The father, I am told by good sources, is a very cool guy and friend of the church. Still all schadenfreude on my part, sorry. Okay, your friend, yeah, that's cool. And your kid, so his kid, his name is Nicholas, and it's spelled like the Russian mafia Nicholas. Of course he's gonna start getting into cocaine distribution. It's gonna happen. He's just gonna go poof right there. And that's an awkward father-son conversation to have. You're sitting at the end of the bed, you go, son, I heard you smuggled $3.5 million worth of cocaine in the United States. Where did you learn that kind of behavior? I learned it from you, Bob. I learned it from you. But he's a good guy, and that never happened because he's a good guy and everyone's a joke. But still, it would be really, that's awkward. My kid's fucked up a few times, but I don't know what I would do if he got internationally smuggling coke. I'd be like, I don't know, you're grounded, suspended sentence. Oh, you're related to me. That's cool. That's how you get out of it. Buy a 1%er. That's what you got to do. If I win the lotto, I'm going to buy a 1%. I'm going to buy politicians. That's the whole $1 billion lottery. All this, everybody, internet, get an imagination. Buy your politicians like the other rich guys and legalize weed. Do it. Internet, your failures. You failures, you Minecraft watching idiots. Get out there and protest. Swap the right people. That's what I'm saying. How about my notes are all done? I don't know what to do. What am I going to do? I'm the ultimate comic. I know what I'll do. I'll freak out. It's okay. I'm a little concerned. I've been dating. I'm trying to date. Yeah, it's not working out well. Because I walked up to this, I thought she was attractive, and I said, can I get your digits? Turns out she was a leper. And I know that was the 10 longest seconds I ever had to spend. And she gave me the finger. Actually, 4 of them. And then he went down in the basement and shot himself. I don't know why. He was like going, Rickman! How do you spell Rickman? Yeah, okay, so, all right, why don't we go to Subway? I was hungry. That's good. Okay, so Jared the pedophile. Gotta be a lot of people awkwardly having a problem with buying their franchises right after they find this out. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna sell sandwiches and make people healthy. And your mascot's a pedophile. Oh! God. All right, I'm gonna buy a Chipotle restaurant. No sweat. This will be great. You don't read. Internet. So, okay. So, that would be, maybe that's, wouldn't it be awkward, like, if they found out Ronald McDonald was really like John Wayne Gacy a few years back? That right? You go, oh, that playing place looks a little like a crawl space. You go, oh, the kids have been up there all day. We don't know where they're at. You know, and then the clown's sitting over there. I don't know shit, man. I don't know shit, but I got some quicklime I gotta bring in. Gotta. John Wayne McDonald Gacy. You know, if he could have got away with it if he'd just had a different career choice. Being a clown and a serial killer, that's a bad combination. Because everybody remembers you when you're a suck-ass clown. They remember you. Like, oh, God, it's that guy again. And then, you know, then you're happy. See, if he would have just been like the manager of a boy band like Menudo, right? Because as soon as a kid turned 16, they shuffled him off with someone else. It'd be like a rotating stock he could bring in. They'd be like, oh, Manuel got some pubes, he had to go. But can you help me bring in the quicklime? Nobody would suspect it, because, you know, like you say, Menudo means quicklime in Spanish. Nobody's going to know. Not in America, right? Serial killers. I think that's my inner secret. I think that's my problem. I really wouldn't mind being a serial killer. Seriously. For good? Now, consider that, the whole Dexter quandary. Can you be the good serial killer? Well, I don't fucking know. Sounds like an interesting experiment, and I'm always down for shit. Drive to a strange town, do an open mic in a strange open mic, suddenly one less heckler in the town. Find a lot of bodies out in cornfields out here. What's with that corn? Why do they have Crackers logos all over them? What's that? Are you trying to frame Crackers and Mr. Serial Killer? Make a deal to be comic. Yes. Me and the severed heads of my victim in my basement, laughing at my jokes. It's all twisted. It's this kind of twisted night, isn't it? A little sick out. Yeah, it's been a weird week. It's been really bad. We've been polishing toys down in the basement. That don't get you high. Pledge, holy fuck. Holy fuck. That's why maids do it for the, they're not getting paid shit, but they're going around wanting snorting Windex. I don't know, but they're sure happy making beds all goddamn day. I could stand for some of that. All I know, I'm down there polishing the old Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and, you know, thinking the value's going up. The value's going up, you know. And then it's just the Battlefield Earth. Sell those. You can't sell those. John Travolta action figures, man. All right, to the amazing boat. Okay, there we go. There's the names I need. Patricia Miller. Patricia Miller is a senator who is in charge of she's the chair of the Health and Provider Services. And she's a horrible, evil woman who would be like a person Alan Rickman would be in a Harry Potter movie with. Because she's prim and proper, but really the evil kind. And when I say kind, it's not kind in the sense of the word, but actually it's an anagram. It stands for something else. It's a corporate underling needing termination. So there's cunts all over the place in Washington. Corporate underlings needing termination. That's all it is. It's not a swear word. It's not a slur. It's not to say that I call Mike Young a cunt. It's true too. It's true. He's a guy who's in charge of the correctional and criminal law division. None of the bills get past him. He kills them, just like Patricia Miller, just like some kind of sick verbal abortionist. When a bill comes to the table and it's got to be voted on, because like we all voted on some guys to sit at a table and decide whether this works. Internet, listen, you stupid shits. Okay, so this broad kills him. This guy kills him. They don't get there. They don't get tabled. So when somebody tells you let the system work, the system's fucked. Get that $1 billion. Buy Patricia Miller. She's fucking for sale. Look at it. FollowTheMoney.com. Oh my God, Eli Lilly's so far up her ass, she's practically a suppository. She's owned. Patricia. I got no material, Patricia. It's just you and me, bitch. No, it's you and me and Mike Young. It's, yeah, we're going to do a Three's Company thing. Three's Company meets Dexter. We're going to pinch Mr. Roper. Brian Bosma, Mrs. Roper. None of you guys know what I'm talking about. Internet Three's Company, what are you talking about? Hey, look at this. Farrah Fawcett made it. Right? You have no idea. She's dead. cancer. Seriously, colon cancer. She died of colon cancer. This week, you lost three. You lost Bowie. B-O-W-I-E. You lost him. Cancer. Brilliant fucking guy. What an exit strategy. Release your album 3 days before you die. Yeah. Holy shit. It's Lazarus. Oh, God. He's doing those guys doing the Saint Invictus fire dance or whatever. But it's cool. And he's doing all the pantomime shit. He did all, doing it all. The video. It's like Johnny Cash doing Hurt. You know, you cry at the end because there's an old guy dying, right? You know, and there's Bowie doing his thing, and he still manages to get spandex in there. And then he goes back in the closet. I'm like, what does it mean? What does it mean, Dave? I thought you were lying about the gay thing. Were you stringing us on? We don't know. You went to another planet. Then Lemmy, cancer. Lemmy from Motorhead, badass, never changed his ways, doesn't give a shit. Ace of spades. He had a big old nasty wart on his face, the whole entire mole, or whatever. It was huge. It made Cindy Crawford jealous. She tried to grow hers out for years to get the Lemmy, but she couldn't do it. Because that takes years of tanning beds and lots of cigarettes and alcohol to get that kind of a... He didn't give a shit. Cancer died. Alan Rickman, dead. Cancer. Why are they dead? No reason. Patricia Miller, hey, can you answer that question, you bitch? Mike Young, you got anything to say there while you're selling people to prisons, you whore? You cunt? You corporate underling needing termination? Think GEO. You guys know what GEO is? For-profit prisons. Mike Young passes legislation to keep them full. 90%. We got to keep 90% of people in there. Because, you know, otherwise we get fined. We have to pay. We don't have enough people in the jail. Surprisingly enough, when you reach 91% filled, they got to build a new prison. Oh my God. It's like Columbia House Records. We're just building a new place to stash people that we really don't want. Like, how many copies of the Joshua Tree do you really fucking need? You don't. But when you got the free 8 ones, you go to Goodwill and everybody there, well, we had to pick 8. We got to 7 and then it was just like, fuck, all we got left is Joshua Tree, Peter Gabriel's Us. And that's dating me there. That's 1985. That's, you know, you people don't know. You internet people. You Minecraft worshippers. I love Minecraft. But I've been playing too much. I got a really nice case of netherworts. Netherworts, ladies and gentlemen. That's just for the 13-year-olds watching tonight. Both of you. What did you do? The play's broken, Gerry. You're the ultimate comic. I don't know, man. Maybe I should kill myself tonight. That would be the big finish. I don't know, man. It's always a decision. How bad is the show going versus how much do I want to off myself? It's a real slippery slope. Because sometimes you go like, I'm taking people with me. Yeah. And yeah, it's not tonight. You guys are great. Pharmaceuticals own us all. Own us all. You big heroin dealers, you love those guys. Love those guys. I heard they're going to start making a new breakfast drink for kids called Poo-Tang. It's a Disney product. Pharmaceutical grade. I think it's, you know, it's kind of funny. They do kit them up for the kids. You know what I mean? They got the Prozac chewables with cartoon shapes. You know what I mean? They got Tigger for those kids that are really hyper. Prozac, what Tigger love that. And then for those really depressed kids, there's Eeyore. Hey kids, don't kill yourselves. Not that anyone cares. Not that anyone cares. There's a depressing joke on there, right? A little bit of suicide, the most manic, depressive character in your lovable childhood collection, the suicidal Eeyore. Oh man, he loses his tail. He's just, fucking kill me. Fucking kill me. If that Tigger comes around here again, man, just, I hope that damn tree falls on me. Fuck it. The blustery day. I don't care. Whatever. Just let me die. Let me die in the thistle patch. Then Pooh comes along with his brain damage. He's like, you know? It's like a bear that's fallen out of too many trees. It was the honey, right? When he fell out of the tree, he's bouncing all over. Thinks he's a rain cloud. He's fucked up. He's like the Frank Gifford with Disney. He really is. He's got all sorts of brain damage. And just not very bright. And Piglet, man. You know what? You know Muslims don't like Winnie the Pooh because of Piglet? Did you know that? There was actually protests against it because pig is an unclean animal, therefore piglet is an unclean animal. Which kind of surprised me they got past the title because the main character's named Pooh. So what you're saying is a turd is cleaner than a pig? So technically, if the pig eats the turd, he's cleaning himself up. Right? Is that how it works over there? I don't know. Hello? You know, whatever. That's a butchering style, but you know, it's the way I work. So I think it's just a matter of time since we start incorporating all the kids' stuff into the drug stuff. You get Dora, the drug explorer. You buy your pack of meds, the doctor will give you, the government picks it up, and it costs you a dime, baby. You roll out with your backpack, and that invisible monkey that you talk to all the time will come with you. It's just a closet case. It's like Calvin and Hobbes. I got him in Adderall, and he's all tweaked out, talking to his teddy bear. Sorry, his tiger bear. Is this a slow death? Is this how it goes down? Is this how it goes down, right? Yeah. Whatever, there's no such thing as slow death. Not for me. I'm gonna have to live till I'm 81. That's the downside of okay, all right. So let's talk about the medicinal qualities of weed. When you get the cannabis oil and you can start curing stuff. Like, okay, so you get a kid who has never spoken because they're autistic or they have seizures and they can speak after like 2 days worth of usage and it's like documented, it's all over the place. And, you could cure people. The real downside is that it'll keep me alive longer. So it's really kind of a 50-50. Really? Isn't that how we should go with this? So Patricia Miller can get off the hook? So I won't have to stand outside of her house all night with a sign that says Patricia Miller? How do you like them dead babies, Patricia Miller? How do you like them? Like young? Oh yeah, dead babies. This is the best part about this whole thing. But, okay, things are a little weird around here. We're having a little anarchy problem. We're having, all sorts of little flare-ups around here. And it's like, I'm happy as a pig in shit because there's trouble. Trouble. I'm okay with trouble. I'm wired for trouble. I want to cause trouble. So I think we should go down to the courthouse with baby dolls and just throw them at the courthouse. Legalize the weed! Weed! Incoming! It's a Cabbage Patch Kid! They're like the autistic kids of the baby doll world. They're all weird and bloated and stuff. They'll throw those ones first because they need the medicine. All right. The baby wetums, urinary tract infections. Get those out there. There's no such thing as baby wetums. I know that. I sold the toys. I know. But you can't say toss the tickle me Elmo up there because nobody knows what's going on with. Is that a baby monster or what? Is that a full-grown monster? Is Elmo kind of a dork? I don't know. He talks to his goldfish Dorothy all the time, and there's always this guy with his hand up his ass. So it's kind of awesome. Not funny, is it? So okay, great, fine, okay. Instant death. All right. Who wants to shoot me? What's that? Patricia Miller. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's dowdy. She's dowdy. Yeah, it's crazy because you dress yourself up like a church person, and you walk around, you act like a church person, but then you go and you see the litigation, and you see what they're doing, and they're not nice people. And it's like, everybody's cool with that. This is Indiana. I guess really there's the main theory. Is Indiana really a stupid state?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're all in agreement. Internet, what do you think? Thumbs up if you like Indiana. Thumbs down if you, I don't know, or hang yourself. Do something with that cable. I didn't say stroke it. I said, that's going to look better. That joke is actually funnier on the camera. You guys aren't going to get that at all, but it's up and down motion. It looks like 3D blowjobs here from Gerry. It's like, oh, hang on. Wait, Gerry, if you're going to eat a dick, you may as well get up close for it. Do it again. Let's just do it again. Let's screw the camera up. Come on, Scotty. Let's do this. There you go. Give it to me all, big boy. Come on, Internet. Come on, Internet. Oh, long time. Legalize weed. Legalize CBD. Dead babies. We don't need no dead babies around here. No, sir, Internet. No more dead babies. That'll be $20. Gotta get a membership. Well, I find debasing myself always makes my set better. Mike Young, go get him. They're two dickheads in the cog of evil, and they need to be told that they're dickheads. Patricia's not running for office again. She's quitting. She knows she's not stupid. You know, she's evil. She's not stupid. You know. Take babies, Patricia! So, yeah. So she's not going to run for office, but in the meantime, she's going to kill a whole lot more bills. She's going to kill them. She's not going to let him get there. Because she has an ideological problem with weed. And the biggest problem is that she's a dipshit. Because she doesn't understand how it works. Right? The whole Cannaterian thing. So I was talking to guys at work today, okay? Right off the bat. Well, you know why Christians have a problem with you? It's because you're doing it for recreation. Well, yeah. I suppose if you look at everything as far as that goes, yeah, that's the same thing. One could say there's a lot of priests recreating and a lot of people. But, whatever. You want to phrase it that way. Okay, let's play your little game. Simple fact of the matter, it's medicine. Okay? This is the metaphor I use for the spiritual end of it. And unfortunately, it's a time-sensitive metaphor because the technology is going to disappear. This is like doing a telegraph metaphor. Nobody's going to get it in 20 years. Or Charlie's Angels. Ooh, nobody knows on the internet. You'll jerk off to it either way, but you don't know her name. That's vintage porn now. That's retro. So that's not real. This is what marijuana is. This is what CBDs and THC do. If you were a model train, the universe is a model train set. You ever got one as a kid? Pain in the ass. Great toy. It sounds like a fun time. It sounds like a great time, but it's a pain in the ass because you have to lay the track out. Right? And you have to lay it, and then you take the train out and you put the train on the track, and it doesn't go anywhere because there's crap on the rails, and there's crap on the wheels. One is you, the other is life. There's just a lot of crap on it. You know what I mean? You go through your life, you get a lot of crap on you. You don't feel good. You don't feel like things are connecting for you. So what you got to do is you get an eraser. You have to get a pencil eraser and erase on those rails. When you erase those rails, it creates a contact point, and that makes the train go. That's weed. That's what marijuana does. Marijuana is the grease that gets you to your spiritual whatever. Whatever you think it is. You think it's a spaghetti monster, knock yourself out, man. I don't care. I'm in irony. You know, as far as I'm concerned, none of you fuckers exist. I'm in my closet at home talking to the corner again with the microphone because, that's the failed career, and I'm in an insane asylum. 23 years of doing this, but, nothing's real. Nothing's real. Is it? Smoke some weed, find out. Get up in the morning, wake and bake. Greatest experience ever. If you have not smoked, you guys have all smoked, but I'm talking preaching to the choir here. This is like, oh yeah, and then they'll be like, I'll get, you're going to correct me on it probably. Oh no, you're not holding the carb right, Gerry. You're kind of an idiot when it comes to this stuff. Yeah, but I'm very persistent. Very persistent. Get up in the morning, look at the sunrise, and smoke one. Best morning you'll ever have. Amen. It's the best. You know what? And then for lunch, smoke one before lunch. And then after lunch, have one for dessert. Then for dinner, for night, supper time, anytime's a good time. Because who knows when you're going to find a guy? 3:30 in the afternoon, coming up fucking 31 up here on the north side. Holy shit, those idiots don't know how to merge. Dude, if I ain't sedated, I'm going to murder some fuckers. That's where the serial killer comes out. In me. That's when I need it. People persist and they fuck with you. You need it sometimes. Sometimes you're sick and you need it. It has to be treated as a medicine, not as a recreational byproduct, but as spiritual growth. And that's the problem with these dipshits. They play into negative pot stereotypes. Oh, the stupid stoner. Oh, we don't get nothing. Oh, we're just a bunch of whatever. Fuck you. Fuck you, internet. Again, I haven't said it enough, but fuck you. It's all stereotypes. The sky's the limit. We open it up. Okay, here's what happens. Legalization. Cartels disappear. Do you remember when the cartels started up? During Prohibition. They started with the alcohol prohibition because that was a fucking winner too. You know what I mean? And then these guys established power, and then they created something else to be fake. The next thing you know, there's a sheriff who has to find out that his son is fucking flipped because there's an artificial value in this horse shit. It's really not worth it. All the gang violence in Indianapolis, 80% of it was gang related. That's all because it's illegal. If you make a Tickle Me Elmo worth $350, motherfuckers will be killing each other in Toys R Us. I guarantee it. Because there's a value to it. There's a dollar value to it. And we make that work because of fucking stupid negative pot stereotypes. And there's no funny here.
There's still dead people, right? Now I'm gonna go modeling on you fucking guys. If I can't get you to laugh, I'm gonna make you cry. That's how we're gonna go out here. Dead babies, kids, dead babies. Hey, Patricia, dead babies! On your lawn! Merry Christmas! Happy New Year. More dead babies. Alan Rickman, Lenny, David Bowie, all dead. Cancer, no reason for it. World's a little less brighter because of these dipshits. So, anyway. So, thanks for coming out for the love in here. You know, if any of you need to reach a suicide hotline, we had to disconnect that because of overabundance of calls. So, no, I'm just kidding. It's usually just my mom saying, man, will you just come home? You should get away from these people. They're cultists. Don't you understand? Next weekend, you're going to be standing in an intersection selling bean pies, okay? And you know, bow ties make your head look huge. It's a joke. See, you guys are too serious. Okay, I've conditioned you with my lecture. I apologize. Okay, so I'll be outside, apologizing to each of you individually. And that's okay. I don't care. Yeah, at least if you got a reason to hate me, I'm good with it. Kurt, I'm sorry I yelled at you. You're like my son. Sorry, I guess. I don't know, some kind of weird father-son. Father, you're like my father, Father. And then they say, you know, you smoke too much weed, Gerry. Okay, so my name's Gerry Gobel. That's my time. Thank you guys for coming. We'll see you next week.
Keep it going for Gerry. We'll give him some help. And just for the record, he misspelled Allen, not Rickman.
No!
That's okay, that's okay. Give it up for everyone you've seen tonight. Peter Heinz and Tyson Cox and Sam Griswold and Matt Murray and me. I'm Kurt Messick, and thank you. We do this every Friday night here at the First Church of Cannabis. It'll also be live streaming, but come on down. We have plenty of room for you and lots of good times. Thank you again, and good night.